The Liberal Party has a new leader, as we know, and the Nationals stick to David Littleproud. It's going to be a long road back after the crushing election loss. Joining me live is former Nationals Minister and Bondi Partner Senior Advisor Peter McGauran. Peter, good morning.
Good morning, Tim.
Sussan Ley, you know her very, very well. Worked with her at not her infancy, but very early on in her political career.
Yes, her first executive appointment was as my parliamentary secretary, and I gave her a number of responsibilities distinct for her to manage within the Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, and she was very good. We're going back to 2005, Tim, but yeah, she's a very competent person. She's not to be underestimated.
Right person to lead the party?
Definitely, at the moment, but she must have unity, Tim. If they don't back her, then they can look at an even further period in opposition.
That's the thing, isn't it? People observing are saying she needs to take the party to the next election.
Agreed, which means a lot of people have to swallow their pride or put aside their ego. Opposition, and I spent 13 years in opposition from 1983 to 1996, and we had some disastrous elections. It's just human nature to squabble and fight and plot over the period of desolate opposition where a lot of people don't want to know you, you don't have staff or resources. You must have discipline. If they don't unite behind Sussan Ley and give her a chance, at least to the next election, then they'll sink even lower.
Is she strong?
Yes, definitely, but the numbers are so precariously balanced. She only won 29 votes to 25, and with the change of the Senate on the 1st of July, it's basically level pegging between her and Angus Taylor, and he's the key. He has to be a team player and supporter. Now, there's one report this week that if he doesn't get the shadow treasurership, he'll go to the back bench. Well, that would be a betrayal of his obligations to the Liberal Party and to Australians.
Because they're going to be out in the cold for a little while, aren't they? There was almost a 6-year election win when you think of the numbers of seats that need to be regained.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The leader will say we can get back and win the election in 3 years' time, but they're obliged to say that. But at least they've now got time to reshape policy, and already climate change and energy policy threatens to split the Liberal Party and split their relationship with the National Party. So there's a lot of serious reflection required by all of them. They lost badly, they let everybody down, and if they don't have humility, then things can only get worse.
What do you think of the reshuffle in Labor, the cabinet reshuffle?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, there were some people of talent, but unfortunately, Ed Husic and Mark Dreyfus were sacrificed. It was unnecessarily bloody. They should have been given a chance to transition out, perhaps give them 12 months or so, or at least warn them before the last election, although, to be frank, nobody saw.
They are the internal faction.
They're the internal faction. So, you know, live by the factions, die by the factions. So I'm not crying any crocodile tears here, but it did take the edge off the reshuffle.
Meanwhile, Anthony Albanese's been in Jakarta, obviously vital, that relationship with Indonesia. He's now on his way, we should be just arriving in Italy now, ahead of the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV tomorrow.
Yes, strutting the world stage at the peak of his powers. But just remember, Morrison, after winning the unwinnable election of 2019, was lauded and respected in much the same way. So you can come crashing down to earth pretty quickly in politics, but the size of the majority means that Albanese is fully in control of the government.
Is Putin just playing everyone, do you think, at the moment?
Yeah, definitely, but the knot is tightening with him because the leaders of the United Kingdom, France, Poland, Germany all met in Kyiv recently to signal that Europe is in it for the long haul, and Trump has now...
This is where it has to happen now.
This is where it has to happen, and Trump's woken up to Putin. So, and Trump has even said, I need to meet him directly. So Trump was naive about Putin, sort of encouraged him almost to abandon a ceasefire, not to turn up for the peace talks that Trump himself suggested in Turkey. So I think there will be movement in that regard, hopefully.
OK, good to talk.
Thanks, Tim.
Cheers, Peter.